Right, sounding muffled again because I've got the old respirator on. Anyway, for this episode, we're going to get into putting some color on the side covers and on the gas tank. Right now, I've got 2 coats of candy red on the side covers. I gotta tell you, like I said before, I'm not an auto body technician. I used to paint with the real stuff, but I gotta be honest, I'm cheating. I'm using spray cans for this, and you just wait and see what I come up with when I'm done. The first coat is, I've got about 3 coats of this silver duplicolor metal specs on there, and now I've got about 2 coats of that candy red duplicolor metal cast. I'm going to put another coat on these right now as soon as I'm done with this video. And let's talk about the gas tank a little bit. Underneath the tank, I painted it black. The top is going to get a coat of silver as soon as I'm done with these 2 side covers here. And then I'll apply some of that candy red to the tank as well. But for now, let me just go to work on those side covers. Once that candy red has a few days to cure, I'll put the Norton Commando names on this, and they're vinyl transfer. So I want to make sure before I do that this paint is really cured. So if I get a couple of sunny days, which is unusual for around here, but if I do, I'll put them out in the sunshine. They'll cure up quicker out in the warm air with a little bit of UV light on them. Anyway, for now, I'm going to grab my can of paint and put one more coat of that candy red on here. Okay, that's the 3rd coat of that red candy on there. So that's it. Now I just gotta, like I said, wait for that to cure for a couple of days before I do anything else to it. What will happen when I put the good automotive clear coat on over that, it will really make this glow. And this stuff comes into its own when you get it out in the sunshine, because that heavy metal flake that's in the base coat will really shine through that candy. And out in the sunshine, I gotta tell you, it's a beautiful sight. It's a lot like the original, what did they call that fire flake red. The metal flake isn't quite as big as that, but the color is very similar. And I'm looking, and it just depends on where you're standing. You know, the candy looks a different shade depending on how the light is striking it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and hopefully the tank will come out just as good. I'll try to document that a little better than I did these side covers. Alright, got my mask on again, so I'm still sounding muffled, but anyway, I told you I was going to document painting the tank a little more than I did the side covers. So anyway, this is 3 coats of this silver duplicolor metal specs, and I'm quite sure that's enough. I may put another coat on. Let's see. It seems to be dry now, so I could, as long as it's dry enough to touch, that's good enough for another coat. So I think I will put one more coat on it, just for fun. Might as well use up all the paint. It's still, there's a spot I can touch that it's still a little bit, still a little soft. So I'm going to wait about maybe 5-10 minutes before I put a little bit more on there. But anyway, that silver's looking good. So yeah, as soon as that sets up, I'll start putting some color coat on it. Okay, here I am, ready to carry on with my caveman paint job. Yeah, I went in the house, did the dishes. Took me about 20 minutes, so this paint is dry, or dry to touch anyway. Okay, so I've got my can of candy. Some people call this stuff dye. Anyway, it's not really dye, but it's like a transparent paint. Anyway, I'm going to start off, just put a very light coat on here, just kind of mist it over. So here's what I do to get that going. Okay, don't want too much on there. Just enough to see that you actually have some on there. And hold it far enough away so that you can get it as even as you can. It's a little bit tricky sometimes, especially if you just have a can with a regular nozzle on. But this one's working out all right. By the way, I've got my air temperature heated up pretty good over here in the shop today. It's about 20 degrees. And I shut the furnace off so it won't blow on the tank while I'm painting, because it'll blow dust and all kinds of stuff I don't want on my tank all over the place. Just like I say, just the light coats all you're after. You're not looking to really color this thing out yet. That'll come in the next 3 or 4 coats. I believe I put 4 coats on the side cover. And the more of this you put on, the richer the color gets. It becomes deeper and richer. But it will still remain transparent. So that when you get this out in the sunshine, and the sun sparkles off of that metal flake underneath, it just about glows. It really looks good. Don't worry about it being glossy. That's what the clear coat is for. We'll get our gloss when we do the clear coat. The clear coat is what protects this from the bangs and scuffs of life and spilling gas on it and that sort of thing. There you can hear that. That can is just about dry now. So that worked out perfectly for that first coat. All right. Now we let that set for about 10 minutes and then we'll give her another coat. Okay, that's 2 coats on the tank. We're going to let that dry for about 10 minutes. This is the side cover. That's nice and dry now. But I just wanted to show you. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not. But the side cover is a little richer than the tank. So the tank is going to take 1 more coat, I think. And then it should look about the same color as the side covers do. So, like I said, I'll wait for about 10 minutes, go finish a cup of tea, and that'll be ready for a 3rd coat. All right, that's 3 coats. And compare that side cover with the tank, and they look pretty much the same to me. That's a nice heavy coat that I put on there on the last coat. It's not impossible to get runs on this, but the more layers of paint you put on, it's more difficult to get runs because the layers that are underneath absorb some of the thinners out of the paint quite rapidly, so you're much less likely to get runs and sags and that sort of thing. Although, like I said, it sure is not impossible. If you get too carried away and lay that on too heavy, you'll definitely get runs and sags. But that's looking pretty darn perfect. Yeah, like I said, it's really hard to tell. The camera doesn't pick it up because it gets all the gloss and the highlights and everything from the lights and like this kind of paint. Like I say, I keep saying it, but when you get this out in the sun, it just about glows. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not going to put any more of the dye on it. It's good enough as far as I'm concerned. So I'll wait for a couple of days for that to set up. I think it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, so I'll get that out in the sunshine and give it a good chance to cure before I put the transfers or anything on it. And then after that, I'll be ready for the clear coat. The clear coat, by the way, it's a two-part product, and that stuff it's the real thing. It's the kind of stuff you would mix up to spray in your good old spray gun, the kind of stuff they put on real cars and stuff. That's what really makes this paint glossy and thick looking. And anyway, that will be the next part of this little video. Okay, get this out in the warm air and the sunshine this morning. It's actually about 14 degrees, so it's not really that warm, but it is a good sunny day, so that will help for that paint to cure. I don't know if the camera's picking up the metal flake in that tank, but even without it being clear coated, it just glows out here in the sunshine. And of course I've got the old side covers that are sitting over here doing the same thing. So I'll let those cure. I think tomorrow's supposed to be nice too, so I'll give them another day out in the sun. But anyhow, this ought to help cure that paint before I put the clear coat on. Right, I'm sounding muffled still because I've got the old respirator on there again. If you're using this stuff, this is the real thing. This is the kind of stuff that they mix and put in a spray gun, except this one is in a spray can. There's a little pressure spot that you put the button on. You shove that in, and it releases a hardener into the clear coat. And this stuff goes on really, really nice. As you can see, the shop's pretty empty right now, except for the Norton I'm working on. That's right underneath all that motorcycle cover and the old Panther that isn't painted. So anyway, as you can see, I've started putting the clear coat on here. This is the second coat. The first coat, you just missed that on there, just enough to see that you've got it covered. You don't need, you're basically looking for a flat looking coating. You're not building any gloss on that first coat because you do not want this to start running on you. Anyway, second coat, you start working on the gloss. As you can see, I've got some good gloss happening there now, and I'm ready to put the third coat on there now. So anyway, I'm going to finish a cup of tea first, just to give that a few more minutes, just to tack up a little bit more. Then I'll come back in and put the third coat on. Right, that's the end of the third coat. Just kind of a little bit tacky there yet, so it's still wet. But no runs, no sags. That is a perfect spray bomb paint job. So don't let anybody tell you you can't do a good job with spray cans. The key is to use that top quality automotive type clear coat on it. And you know what? They tell you that you got about a 48-hour shelf life to this stuff once you puncture the hardener and mix it in. But I have found that if you've got any left, now there's maybe, I don't know, maybe an eighth of a can left. There was a couple of positions I was holding that can in where it was starting to run out. when I was doing the side covers, but don't throw it away. Put it in the freezer. That will slow the chemical reaction down to the point that this will stay in the freezer and still be usable for about 3 months. So, don't throw it away. Save it. It costs too much to toss out. And, as you can see, it does a beautiful job. And that top quality clear coat will protect the color paint and the undercoats that are there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. The bike should look really good going down the road with that paint job on it. Right, so I'm going to wrap this little video up before it gets too long. Anyway, like I've been saying all along, I'm not an auto body technician. I have friends who are. I've learned an awful lot from them. And this isn't the right way to do it. This is how Bruce does it. So anyway, I think after that nice little paint job, I've earned myself a girly beer here. So anyway, thanks for watching. There's not much left to go. I'll soon be on the road. Toodly-doo.